Hey folks, welcome. Yes, welcome to part 2 of the Luthier's Lair series detailing the building of Project Boris. Yes, a one-off custom bass guitar for a good customer of mine. This has been very interesting so far. We've got the templates made up, and we're actually, while the body blank, while I'm waiting on the body blank arriving, I thought, what the hell, I'll just make the neck, because the neck is kind of the only part of the actual bass itself that's going to be made on the CNC machine. So without much further ado, let's get into making this neck, and let's have a little time-lapse CNC fun where we will show the whole carve of the neck. I'll speed it up and, time-lapse, so let's go and have a look at that. Okay, let's get building. Okay guys, here we are, all set up. The blank is aligned, marked for flipping, because it's going to be a two-faced carve here. We're going to do the truss rod cavity first, and then we're going to do the part of the headstock and the dip down here. Then we're going to turn it, and then we'll carve out the profile of the neck. So we're almost ready. I've got the machine nearly set up. It's asking me for a tool here. You might be able to see. Hold on. See, it's asking me for a tool. It wants me to insert a tool, which is this. This is a 1/8 bit upcut end mill, and I'll be using that to do the truss rod cavity. So let's go and take the probe out. I've already probed the position. The machine knows where it is, unlike me. And yeah, so let's take the probe out, let's put the tool in, let's get it right in there. Nice. And nice and tight, nice and tight. 1, 2. He's down. Let's go and get on with it. What the machine's doing here now is measuring the length of the tool, so it knows how far to go down. In there. Now here's where it gets a bit loud, so I'm going to pause right here. The next video I'll start it up. here we have the neck blank liberated from the, actually the neck liberated from the neck blank after being CNC'd, and it's time to try fitting a few things before I sand off the tabs here, which held it in place while it was on the machine. So I think the first thing we should do is see if the truss rod fits properly, and it should do. Oh, did you hear that creak? And that's perfect. Yeah. So we're good with the truss rod, and it's just sticking proud there. That's good. Oh, that's tight. Perfect. Okay. Now, just a quick inspection of it. It carved out really nicely, as you can see. There's a very small amount of tear out here, that's easily repaired. No problems there. Cut slightly oversized so that when I sand it down it will be the correct size. And this is a modified C shape. I'm going to actually change that a little by hand to make it a more pronounced C shape. So yeah, and you thought this was going to be a headstock base. Well, it is going to be a headstock base. What I do is I cut my usual neck profiles, and I use the headstock sleeve patented technology that I came up with, and I do this. There you go, a headed base. And the client that I'm making this base for wanted something in the style of a Pangborn type headstock. I've made this slightly wider than a usual Pangborn headstock, but that's it there. Like a spear, like a spearhead. Very, very nice. And that goes on in there. I need to round off the edges on the original headstock here so that it'll fit a little nicer. And then down the bottom here, I'll be rounding these off as well when I decide what sort of neck pocket contour I would like on the body. But there we have it. Neck is ready to be sanded, so let's go and do that. Yes, all the tabs are gone, and we have a almost completed neck. Just needs fine sanded now, get any tool marks that are apparent out of there, clean up the volute, and we should be good to go with a neck that is almost ready. It's just a case of getting the fingerboard done and getting the LEDs installed and all that good stuff, and we'll be all the way. Cool. So now we've got a little bit of headstock madness going on here. Now this particular customer chose the Pangborn influenced headstock. I do make other shapes, and I can make almost any shape that's within reason, of course. For example, this one's called the Bat Cowl. See? Smaller profile, but it makes it look like a Batman. And this one is called Pallas. I don't know why I named it that. The Greek god thing. There's Pallas in place there. And it's got like a nice V shape in here, and I have made a base with this headstock as well. Those are really good templates. Yeah, but we're going to go with the Pangborn one, and see, that's the beauty of this, is that I can customize headstocks. Even although I made a ton of necks, I can customize the headstock. Now, the headstock's cut very slightly thin. The reason being is that to hide the joins, you don't need to hide the joins, but you can veneer this or do anything you like with it, paint it, fill it, you know, whatever. So it's a very flexible system, and that's going to go on like so, and that's very slightly proud all over. So this depth is not the same as that, but that gets sanded flat anyway, and maybe a veneer will go on here, maybe not, we'll see. Okay, so first, as you can see, I have my clamps ready and everything. I'm going to take some Tight Bond Ultimate and squirt a little bit in there. Don't need too much for this, very good glue. And what we're going to do is we're going to get a Q-tip or cotton bud for you, those of you across the pond there. And this has all been cleaned. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to dip this in here, get some glue on there, and I'm going to spread it nice and even all over the paper. See, that's why I put paper down. Alright, you will get some squeeze out with it, but that's okay too. You expect that. As you see here, just putting that on, smoothing it out, sure it's nice and smooth. That's so it doesn't run, you know. Excuse me. So I'm getting kind of minimal squeeze out, and like I say, you really don't need much of this glue. You see here, posting some of that on there, and you've got a decent working time with Tight Bond Ultimate. I'll use the other side of this bud here. About 10-15 minutes working time. Actually, it's starting to tack up a little bit. That's fine. Just take your time. Get on there nice and even. The corners there, out to the side. And we're ready to go. Let's throw this away. Let's set that aside here, and just in case, I'm going to use a shop towel to wipe up the mess I just made. Okay. And then it's just a case of pick what side. It's going to be front. I think I'll pick this side. It's symmetrical, this one, so in it goes. That's firmly and flatly in place. Now we'll just take a clamp, and really not much pressure needed here. Really not much at all. That's really on there. And then we're going to just turn that until I see a little bit of squeeze out coming. There you go. Okay. And then one more for good measure, facing this way. It's not the right angle there. That's the angle I want, right here. And just twist that in. There we go. That's going to set up, and rubber face mallet just to make sure that things are completely level. Okay, it's pretty level. Check the clamps again. Okay, and we're done. Now, after about an hour and a half, the clamps will be okay to come off, and I'll leave that overnight, and that'll be on there solid, ready to do whatever I need to do to it. You know, putting on a veneer, whatever needs to be done. This goes in the bin. And there you go. So that is the beauty of this system. You can have, the necks are already pre-made, you just ask what headstock they want. And with this I can do a 2x2, or I can do the regular 4 in a row type thing if you wanted. But I wouldn't be drilling the holes for the tuning pegs if you wanted a 4 in a row, because they would come like this and probably maybe interfere with that. I haven't had a request for that yet, but I can do it. I know that for sure. Okay, awesome. Well, that's it for part 2 of Project Boris. Yes, fun so far, right? Now hopefully in part 3 I will have received the body blank. It's taken a little while. It's a special cut that I ordered in, and when the body blank's here, what we're going to do is we're going to kind of cut it in half, because we're going to have a centre detail in there made from, I think, walnut, maple and cherry. You know, a centre band through the body. So that's going to be interesting. Hopefully it'll be here. If not, we'll show something else. Okay, so if you enjoy the channel and the content that I'm providing here, consider subscribing to the YouTube channel there. It's free, it doesn't cost you anything. Give me a thumbs up and ring that notification bell so that you will be notified of any further uploads that I do. Just remains for me to say the usual: stay safe, be good, and thank you very much for watching and supporting the channel. Cheers folks. See you next time. Bye bye.